ang question dito is not really it's not really about the pilot. Okay? This is just tip of the iceberg. Sa akin, it's okay. Ito, just to fulfill the promise, that's fine with me. I have no problem with that. Nai-guess nyo ba kung bakit it's dangerous if we continue it? Because it's going to bleed us dry. Ang gusto ko lang sabihin, sa akin sa ngayon, okay to. Okay lang yan. Good news yan. Kasi may makaka-afford ng 20 pesos na worth of palay. Okay? May makaka-afford ng 20 pesos per kilo. Per kilo. Guess nyo? Hindi po ba magiging advantage para sa mga local farmer if ever kaya po nila ibenta ng mataas kung walang middleman? No, not really. Why? Let's say 20 pesos yung pag-sell, right? Yung pagbigay ng ano. So ngayon, kapag kakalat na yung 20 pesos, kapag kalat na yung 20 pesos sa market, you flooded the market with 20 pesos, right? The farmers will be forced to sell it for 10 pesos. Then magkakaroon ng malaking gap, then open for corruption. That's why it's always the free market that prevails. Why? Because if you actually control the market, if ang ginawa mo is directed yung market, there are going to be arbitrage, unnecessary consequences, unintended consequences. That's why you need a free market. Because the free market will find its equilibrium, will find its value. That's the power of free market. Nai-gets nyo? This is going to kill the farmers too. Kaya nga sabi ko, if you want to kill them, just kill them already. But I guess they cannot do that because I think NFA can only buy from the local farmers, right? O yung pag binenta ng 10 pesos ng mga farmers, bibili lahat ng government tapos in papers, 33 pesos ang bili. Exactly! Kaya nga sabi ko, legalized theft to, dude. Then you're gonna sell it sa 20 pesos. Then madidiplit yung budget mo and then hingi ka na naman ng budget, right? Question, saan napunta yung difference? It's just, for some reason, it's magic, right? The money disappears sa thin air. Think about it. Dito mag-make sense yung question ni Eden. Okay? Sa'yo pala napunta yung magic. Don't forget, it's subsidy. So, wala pa din bumaba. Yan. Alam na yan. Ano na yan? Don't forget. Given na yan. That's not the point. Okay. Ngayon, mag-make sense na sa inyo yung sinasabi ni Eden. Okay? Yung question ni Eden dito, mag-make sense sa inyo. It's gonna make sense. Trust me.
Sabi niyo po na manggagaling din sa mga lokal na magsasaka. Yun pong
manggagaling na sa lokal na magsasaka, right? Okay.
Ibebentang 20 pesos na bigas. May we know po sino-sino yung mga magsasaka or
Noong unang nyo narinig yan, hindi nyo magets kung, why are you asking for those information, dude? Because it is important. Why? Because without the identity of those farmers and co-op, then what I said do sa kayo and the machine, that's gonna happen. That's why the identity of the farmers and also the co-op, we need to know it. Why? Because the co-op, may mga co-op na associated sa politician, right? Saan galing ang paninda? Exactly.
Sino-sino yung mga magsasaka or kooperatiba na magiging source po o pagkukunan.
For example, may isa akong follower na ka-chat ko agabi. Ang kuwanan sa kanila, ang bilihan sa kanila is 14 to 15 pesos. Okay? But NFA is actually saying it's 24 pesos, right? There's a big difference there. Now we'll make it worse. Mamaya. True, sa amin dito ang baba ng kuha ng palay, less than 16 pesos na, tas NFA 20 plus kuha. Kanino kaya kinuha? Exactly. That's why it's very, very important, right? Right? Kaya yung question ni Eden, now it makes sense. Dahil sa video ko at saka sa paliwanag ko ngayon sa inyo.
Pinapasinungalingan na po namin yung sinasabi sa mga balita na ito'y may amoy. Unang-una, hindi pa po nag-roll out. Kaya po ito ay masasabi
Actually, ito yung issue ng amoy. Siguro sa simula lang yung magiging issue eh. Pero if they're going to continue this, mawawala yan. Why? Think about it this way. Ngayon, nag-stock sila ng 3 to 6 months. Ang 6 months is yung palay. Right? Yung palay. Tapos, yung 3 months is yung bigas. Right? Think about it. Okay, they're gonna have to buffer that. Keep that kind of buffer, right? Nagigets nyo? Mas matagal ang profit doon. Like for example, ako yung politician, right? Sabihin na natin na may cut ako dyan. Okay? internally. May cut ako dyan. Okay? So ngayon, ano bang mas gusto ko? Mas mabilis yung pasok ng pera sa akin o yung mas matagal? Of course, you're greedy. You're greedy. You're gonna have to do it really, really fast. Right? How? Gusto mong gatasan hanggatang kayang gatasan, right? Now, yung 3 months na buffer stock and 6 months, hindi na yung mangyayari. Kasi part din ng rule is parang 15 days, right? 15 days? 15 days, papalitan sila. Basta may ibenta nila yung 15 days. Okay, do that in cycle. Do that in cycle. Ngayon, ibig sabihin, yung mabaho, yung may amoy na bigas, that's not gonna happen anymore. People will be happy because there's this 20 pesos na bigas. At hindi na siya mabaho. Sa simula lang yung mabaho. Kung totoo man yung mabaho. Pero if you're going to continue that, wala nang mabaho. Everything will be fresh. What you think? Kailangan mo lang i-stream. May 3 stream na normalize. Yeah, because it's hindi mo wala yung amoy kasi mabilis na yung ano eh. Ano ba tawag doon? Mag-cycle na. Yes, mawawala na yung amoy. Dahil kasi yung point, right? Sa ngayon lang problema yan, yung baho-baho na yan. Kaya nga sabi ko, I'm okay. I'm fine with this na just to fulfill the promise of the president para matahimik lang yung mga DDS na yan. Sure, I'm all for it. But if you're going to make it a practice, a regular practice, we have a problem. Mag-election kasi kaya ganyan. I don't think so. Diyan kayo mapapahiya. It's not because of election. Mapapahiya kayo dyan, guys. Sinasabi ko sa inyo, mga DDS dyan. After nyan, wala na yan. Are you sure? Mapapahiya ka. I just explained it on how you make money from it. Are you telling me they're gonna stop it? Of course not. Mag-isip ka nga, Genjo. Yun ang problema sa inyo eh. Walang critical thinking. It's an infinite money glitch. Correct! It's a money machine. You cannot even detect. You cannot even detect where the money goes. Sayang naman yung 30 minutes na explanation. Oo nga eh. Life hack na nga eh. Kaya nga, that's why I'm so against this for the long term. Kaya yung mga nagsasabi na this is for election lang, legal theft nga eh. Tingnan nyo, mapapahiya kayo dyan. Legal money laundering. Continuous yung budget. Exactly! Saan ba kinukuha yung budget? Sa GAA, sasabihin mamaya. Kaya nga sabi ni Kayo, kung this is just to fulfill a campaign promise, okay lang. Kasi nga, corruption na.
Ito naman po ay sa kadiwa.
Ano po yung mga, sino-sino po yung mga magsasaka or kooperatiba na pag mumulan po nitong source ng 20 pesos na bigas? Kasi sabi niyo po, local farmers po ang panggagalingan nito. Ibig sabihin, hindi po imported rice yung ibebenta natin na 20 pesos na bigas.
Sa ngayon po, ang sinasabi po natin ay manggagaling ito sa local farmers. Yan po ang maliwanag. Kung meron po mga kooperatibang mai-involve po dito.
The problem dyan, Kayo, pagtatapos ng terms nila, madami siya, Kayo, na habol sa kanya. Hindi ba kayo nakinig sa explanation ko? I literally said, when something goes wrong, there's no one to blame. Why? You have to track the footprint. You cannot track it to the president. Guys, mag-isip naman kayo! Anak ng toko naman, no? Ang tagal-tagal ko na dito sa YouTube. Alam niyo, minsan feeling ko talaga wala akong kwenta dito eh. Mag-isip naman kayo from the top. Panoorin yung video ko sa Kayo and the Machine. Please. Panoorin doon.
Guidelines at hingin po natin ang mga listahan. Kaya kalo-launch pa lamang po nito. At sisimulan pa lamang po sa May 1.
Okay,
so wala
ito.
pong mga specific na mga kooperatiba or mga...
Magandang negosyo to, taxpayers, namumuhunan, pag-aagawan niya, 20... Exactly.
magsasaka na
Good afternoon, Mang Temyo.
pagmumulan po nitong bigas na ito, itong 20 pesos, para po naman na malaman natin na yung bigas, itong 20 pesos, para po naman na malaman natin na yung bigas, galing po talaga sa ating mga magsasaka.
Exactly. Kailangan natin ng tracking system. Kanino galing? Kasi, bakit? Ito. Think about it this way. Okay. Let's create a hypothesis. We will be the criminals. Okay? We will be the secretaries. We will be the secretaries of the departments. How do you do it? Here's how I'm going to do it. Ako, NFA. Sino nonsense DA. Right? Okay. Ganito gagawin ko. Okay. Bibili ako sa farmers, right? Bibili ako sa farmers ng palay. O ngayon, gigiling ko, aanuin ko na, this bibenta ko sa FTI. That's 33 pesos, right? So, sinubsidize ko ng 15 pesos, right? Okay. And then, Sila ngayon, FTI, ibibenta sa merkado, right? O ngayon, sabihin na natin, maraming nakapila, may part doon na nakapila, pero may part doon na hinord ko. Hinord nung tropa natin. Bakit? Kasi ibabalik niya. Kasi yung NFA ngayon, may kukontakin akong co-op na itong stock na yung binenta ko. Punta sa co-op, bibigay sa akin. Magkakatay contract. They are forced to collude. Kasi hindi pwede magbenta ng palay din si NFA eh. Kailangan niya magbenta ng bigas, right? So hindi pwede. But meron silang gilingan, right? Yung gilingan na yon is bigas na yon, may ibang palay. So pwede ko isama doon sa bigas na yon, yung dati, right? Pwede ko isama doon. So pagpunta noon, pwede kong iikot ngayon yung supply, papunta sa isang co-op, nakakulod ko, and then bibili ulit ako sa kanya on paper. On paper, bibili ako sa kanya. Pero in reality, that was my old stock. Do you get it? O ngayon, sa NFA pa lang yung pinag-usapan natin. Paano pa yung politician? Kasi yung politician, saan kikita yon? Kikita yon sa difference ng pagkabili sa 48 pesos. 48 pesos ba yun? O 48 pesos. Naging 33. Naging 20. Doon sa cycle na yon, doon kikita yung politician. Because in between, the money disappears. Pucha, napamura ako doon Kasi, people think na that's why I'm explaining it to you clearly. So you would understand it and you would see what I see. New papers, recycled stocks. Yes! That's why importante yung sinasabi ni Eden, kanino ba kumukuha? Sino ba? Kasi if we don't have that list, we cannot verify it. We cannot audit it. Rice laundering ba ito? Paano na yung ibang nagbebenta ng rice boss? Yun nga yung problema eh. Babahain nga yung market ng 20 pesos, right? Boss ka yung money hacks yun I know. I just showed you. I will make the money disappear. Ano papunta sa pocket ko? Criminal minds ka talaga kayo. That's what I said. Kaya importante yung question ni Eden, sino yung farmers? Sino yung co-op? Tama, walang transparency ang ginagawa. Sabi ko nga, kung ito ay to fulfill the promise lang, and then we stop, para lang maubos yung laman ng okay lang. Saka okay lang, para matahimik lang din yung DDS. At ma-fulfill na ni PBBM yung promise ng 20 pesos. Okay na sa akin yun. Can we go back to reality now? Sa unang tunog, magkano lang ba yung difference dun sa 20 pesos? Tapos naisip kong ilang milyon na tons na, exactly. Literal na rice washing aka. Kaya importante dito ka sa panig natin, Sir Kayo, paano na lang nasa kabila ka. May sira ba ang supply and demand, Boss Kayo? It will disrupt the market. Why? Because the people will say, we're getting it for 20 pesos. See? I have a contract with this co-op. Really? Ma-offer sa ngayon yung farmers na magbenta na mas mababa, right? O pag nagbenta na mas mababa, the corruption continues. Make sense yung mga theory mo, Kayo. Nung una, sabi din ni attorney na possible for this election lang yung 20 na bigas. No, I'm not. I'm looking at the economics of it. I'm sorry. Kumbaga, yes, politics is part of it. Okay? But sa side ko kasi, I'm looking at the economics of it. Walang pagkakaiba to sa arrest warrant ni Digong. Sorry. Why? Because NFA cannot sell directly to the market. And who was the problem back then? It was the NFA. Sila yung problema dati. Kaya ginawa yung RTL. Now they found a way na i-cover yung idea. Kayo, sa ganitong scheme, hindi kaya substitution with lower grade rice. Rice marked as high quality. Subsidize, maybe swap with cheaper low grade rice to increase margins. No. We're talking about the subsidized na ng NFA. No, you don't have to swap anything. Those buyers are not real buyers. Why do you need to swap it? Come on, Kuya Jel, think. Those buyers are not real buyers. Only a few of them are real. Think, Kuya Jel, think. Why do I need to swap it? Sa ganitong scheme, hindi kaya substitution with lower grade rice. Okay. So, ang gusto mong sabihin is, kukuha sila ng, okay. Actually, that's an alternative. You're giving them more options. Kasi ganito yung gusto mo sabihin, tama? Ang sinasabi mo is, hindi pwedeng lower grade yung ibenta nila. Tandaan mo, 48 pesos yung mismong threshold ng price, right? Right? Oh, okay. 48 pesos quality, supposedly. Right? They can do that. And the system still plays the same. For example, 48 pesos yung market price. Hindi nga market price yun, basta market price na lang natin 48 pesos. 48 pesos market price. They're gonna subsidize it. Isisell nila at a loss. So that's 33 pesos, right? Ngayon, isa-subsidize ngayon ng LGU at with good grade, with high grade, with premium grade. Then there's no problem. That's why sabi ko sa'yo, I don't have to swap it. Pero that's scalable dun sa point ng gusto mo. Yung system na yon, yung scheme na yon, it is actually scalable in that way too. Totoo yan, di lahat na nasa bidding totoong tindahan. Tapos yung pinakamura ang pinipili. Ang alam ko meron cap for 10K per week lang pwede bilhin. Pero criminals can work around that. Exactly. All I have to do is get your names. Right? Kumuha ko na mahihirap na dito, I just get your names. Either market price kaya laruin. Yeah. The money still disappears. Because, saan ba humahatak ng pera yan? Sa GAA. Nagets nyo? Sa GAA kumukuha ng pera yan eh. So, yung bawat subsidized doon, yung pagbagsak na yon, lagi nag-shoulder nun is taxpayers. Ubos pera ng bayan ka-subsidize. Ganun talaga mangyari. Parang akap lang din. Exactly same! Same scheme. Pabor yan sa rice cartels. You're looking at it as if they're gonna blend in sa economy. They're not. They're isolated economy. Who's gonna check? Who's gonna care? No one does. So they will actually play as an isolated economy there. Money-making machine. That's why it's very bad na i-subsidize yung mga yan. Magkikreate ka ng arbitrage. Yung pa lang yung una, yung pa lang yung sa DA, ay doon sa NFA, right? Okay, how about this? Ito pa, here's another one. Okay, NFA, FTI, and then mag-sell sa kunyari sa tao. I-hoard nila and then makipag-usap sila para sa black market. They can sell that. Konti lang yung kailangan mo. Nabigyan, right? Sabihin, laging ubos. If FTI is buying at 48 and selling at 33, but actual rice doesn't move or quantities are inflated in reports, then the 15 subsidy per kilo becomes a channel for siphoning public funds. That's what I've been telling you, Kuya Jel. That's why I said it's a money-making machine. It disappears in the cycle. Here's the problem. You cannot track it. That's why it's a very bad idea if you actually intervene sa market. Kaya yung gusto mong i-lower yung price ng 20 pesos by subsidy, that's bullshit. You can only do that in free market economy. If you cannot do that in free market economy, then it means it's impossible. Plain 15 pesos na bawas, grabing money washing machine yan. Glitch in the matrix. That's what I've been telling you. That's what I've been saying. Kaya hindi masagot sino yung mga farmers. Economy levels sleight of hand. It is. And it is genius. It is genius. Wicked, but genius. Ang mangyari. Kung sino man nakaisip niyan, you're evil, but genius. Ay nako.
Dapat wala pong tayong pagdududa. Local farmers.
Is it possible to provide independent audits? That's what we're pushing for. But again, Kuya Jel, we want that. But the problem is, we're justifying na it stays. Kasi my position is, just do your thing, fulfill the shit ng promise mo, and then let's stop. Let's go back to reality, dude. That's okay. If it's a political move, I'd rather na political move lang ito. Who's weak leader now? Totoo yan, Boss Kayo. Sasabihin nila na ubos na. Kaya maraming stock ang NFA Cebu. Magaling maglaro ng nasa NFA Cebu. Bigas na pala bigasan. Kasi kapag dinignify ko yan, Kuya Jel PH Caster, kapag dinignify ko yan na, yeah, we should push for independent audits. But am I agreeing na it should stay? Of course not. I want a free market one. Nakakuha na naman sila ng idea kay Kayo. What makes you think na hindi yun talaga yung idea nila? Kapag may kumontak sa akin, I'd like to hear it. Explain it to me. Kapag may kumontak sa akin, may kumino sa akin, shh, nilagay ako sa loob ng van. I watch your live stream. Explain it to me. Oh shit. I think it's common sense, you know? Sa mga kalidad mo, I think it's common sense. To prevent yung ganyang klase ng scam. Do not allow any subsidy. That's why that's my pushback. That's my pushback with Sir Manny Piñol. As long as you have subsidy in anything, we're not efficient. That's ano for corruption. I'm a free market guy. If we're not efficient with it, or if we're not efficient in producing the rice, let's kill the farmers then! Kumbaga, another scheme of ayuda. Name lang kailangan pasok na. Pwede ang fake beneficiaries double claiming kasi pangalan same. Right? Kuya Jel, PH Caster? Now you get it. You're getting what I mean. Politikong mga bayani, magasaka, gutom pa rin. Yeah, for me, kasi, tama, if you're going to kill the farmers, kung ano yung ginagawa ng mga Villar, yung mga subdivision, yan ang hope nyo. Pwede yan sa 2K sako ng bigas, 1K lang ibibenta sa masa, tas 1K subsidize ulit, parang pinanch mo ng twice pa ulit yung kalahati. Ding, 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 ding. At least nagigets nyo. At least nagigets nyo. Ganyan talaga ngayon. Okay? At least gets nyo yung sinasabi ko. So, spread the word. Spread the word, guys. Let's stop this bullshit. Kasi kung ito ay campaign promise lang, para lang masabing, oh yan, nagawa na ni PBBM yung 20 pesos. Okay. Let's go back to reality now. Can we go back to reality now? Pero kapag pinilit na tuloy-tuloy, no. Hang on. Guys, directly proportional to ayuda, ganyan sistema ngayon. Exactly. Oh, it makes sense, sir. Kayo, galing ng paliwanag mo. Sana masagot nila. Sa sequence, na that's impossible to happen. Nais nyo, na parang sa sequence na sinabi ko, tell us kung paano hindi mangyayari yun. Kasi I admit, that's theoretical. Kumaga, ang tawag ko dyan, theoretical bullshit. That's theoretical bullshit. Pero, again, that's how I work. A priori, hypothesis, then falsify it. Katulad nito, yung kay chill ride lang. Sabi ko kahapon ba yun isang araw, na NFA magbebenta ng palay and then bibili sila ng same stock ng palay, right? Tapos sabi ni chill ride, actually, di sila pwede magbenta ng palay eh. Bigas lang. Oh, actually, makes sense. Okay. Tapos tinig ko yung RTL, tsaka yung dati pwede under certain circumstances, pero yung RTL na yung kila Villar is pinagbawalan na sila, right? So, okay, that's good. Actually, that's good. Now, they are forced to actually collude na sa co-op, right? Because of that RTL. Kasi mas maraming involved na tao, mas madaling mahuli yung corruption. Mas konti yung taong involved, mas mahirap huliin yung corruption. Nakikas nyo yun? Boss kayo, why do we need to accept that this is the fulfillment campaign promise? Pahirap ito sa bayan in the long run. Well, ang point ko nga, hindi ka naman nakikinig, Bruce D. Ang point ko nga, hindi nga in the long run. Kaya nga campaign promise lang, kung campaign promise lang, if it's a political move, that's fine with me, totally fine with me. Because I know that PBBM has to play politics too. Okay? May pinramis siya, ayun yung binabato sa kanya na hindi mo nagawa, and then ngayon, nagawa niya, and then, ayan, nasampalin niya yung mga DDS, matahimik yung mga DDS, right? Okay, that's fine. And then stop. Because if you actually continue that 20 pesos with subsidy, we're gonna have a problem. Because it's not the fulfilling of your promise. Ang issue dito is only covered sa campaign promise. Let's go. Tunay na presyo ay nakadepende sa supply at demand. Kaya kalokohan ng 20 pesos na bigas. Not only that, if you actually track the minimum wage and the percentage ng 1 kilong bigas sa minimum wage, wala tayo sa anomaly. We're tracking that same rate. So, technically, ang bigas ngayon ay hindi mahal. Relative sa historical. Kung ang benchmark mo is minimum wage. Kaya nga yung minimum wage ngayon, di ba, kinokontrol nila, which is good. At least alam ng presidente na, teka, we have to think about that first. Because ang mga businesses dito at nag-employ dito is small, medium enterprises. Okay? We're gonna burden the businesses if we actually increase the minimum wage. And not only that, the inflation will follow. Nagas nyo? And you think yung bigas is hindi maapektuhan? It will. This is not the issue of being DDS or loyalista. Issue ito. Ako nga sa akin, wala akong problema kung gusto niya lang i-fulfill yung pangako niya nung campaign promise siya, tapos masabi lang, ayan na, yung parang, yung hindi kayang i-deny ng DDS, it happened. But you subsidize it, but we did. It happened. You cannot argue with reality Nakabili ng 20 pesos. But you subsidize it. So, that was my promise, right? I subsidize it. Sure. But it's 20 pesos, right? Yeah. But you subsidize it. Yeah. Detail. Ang dapat talaga diyan, nang hindi kaya yung 20 pesos na bigas, ganyan na cost ng pride ng president. No. You don't understand. Nagawa nga eh. Bakit nila sasabihin hindi kaya? Kaya. Ayun, sinubsidize. Kaya. Ayun na nga. Kaya ka nagreklamo yung mga DDS eh. Walang problema kung free market. Nag-guess nyo? Kung free market, ito yung nangyayari, walang subsidy, okay lang. Wala tayong magagawa eh. Hindi sila makakakuha ng ganyang klaseng style. Kasi hindi sila pwede magbenta ng ganyan kababa. Right? Nag-gets nyo? Pero, nung may market intervention na, may government intervention na, yun, nagbago na. Nagbago na ang problema natin. So, guess nyo na kung bakit importante yung question ni Eden. Kayo ng farmers, ang co-op, kasi nandun magiging, pitfall. Pitfall ba tawag doon? Doon na magiging pitfall eh. Okay? So, kailangan malaman talaga yung mga yun. Kasi dati, prior sa RTL, pwede magbenta sila ng palay. So, pwedeng umikot lang, mag-cycle lang yun at hindi na kailangan may pag-connive sa co-op. But ngayon, because hindi sila pwede magbenta ng palay, kailangan nilang i-mill. So, ngayon, ibig sabihin, kung magkakaroon man ng wash sale, kailangan nila mag-collude ngayon sa co-op. Yes nyo na? Yun yung importante doon. Or, ang pwede nila nang gawin din is i-hoard yung tapos ibenta sa black market. So, kumita sila. Right? Guess nyo? Let's say na ang gawin nila is 48 pesos, kunin nila yung nabibenta, yung mabili sa palengke, and then subsidize nila. Right? Kasi pwede nilang gawin yun eh. Pwede nilang gawin yun. Kasi wala namang farmers, di naman natin alam kung saan ko nakuha eh. Walang identity, walang ng co-op, walang footprints. So, pwede silang kumuha. Like, for example, kumuha sa isang co-op na nag-import. And then yun yung bigay, tapos i-subsidize, makakuha sila na ngayon ng pera. Same thing. Katulad ng sinabi ni Funny TV kanina. Subsidized rice could be redirected and sold to private markets at a profit rather than being sold to intended beneficiaries. Exactly. Yung sinabi ko nga kanina, dalawa pa lang yun eh. May isa pa ako naiisip. Diyan sila magkapera sa cycle na yan. Co-op to NFA. Correct. Yup. Okay.